What's happening, people? It's your boy Ash. Once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't done it already, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the next video. But yeah, so here we go. So today I'm just going to talk about, or this evening I'm just going to talk about sort of how to master chess. Yeah, basically. So just a bit about me. I used to play for a chess club. Yeah, so just a hobby of mine. So yeah, this is going to be basically the rules of how to master chess if you're a beginner, or you just want to cultivate your skills. Right. So basically, obviously there's a few opening strategies in chess, but usually the best one to go for is pawn. I think it's e5. Obviously, so normally on a chessboard you have the numerics go around the outside, the numbers and letters. But for this purpose, I won't read out the numerics. I'll just tell you where I'm putting it. Yeah. So if you're whites, put usually start with this opening move. So pawn goes obviously 2 squares in front of the king, and what that allows you to do, it will help you to open up your pieces. Yeah, so you can always move the queen out. You can jump the knight, etc. So once you do this move, another good move could do this. So you got the 2 opening pawns, so D line and E line, and this will help you to get the bishop out quick. I just realised that's in the wrong square. Yeah, so that one can go like that, for example, and then you can go here, and then you can go here. So basically what this is, I like to call this the bull's head. So you got the 2 horns for the bishops, then you got the 2 pawns as the eyes, then you got the knights as sort of the body, like the way we want to call it, side the head, and then just the pawns. So this here is in my opinion, one of the best open strategies you can use. It's one of the most defensive open strategies. And in chess, it's all about just dominating the middle. So in chess, there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say there's 12 key squares which you need to go for, and that's in the middle of the board. So if you can basically dominate, sorry about that, I'll try to keep the screen still now. Yeah, so if you can sort of dominate the middle of the board, you're always going to do well, because, for example, if a knight's here, it can only move 2 ways. But if a knight's here, for example, there is 8 variations it can move. So in terms of taking pieces and the impact in the game, it's going to be a lot more. So once you do this as your opening strategy, I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, when you're playing someone else, you might not always be able to do this, but try to, the key is to try to dominate the middle and try to get your pieces up quickly. So once you do this move, obviously the next natural move is the castle. So you protect your king, and then with your rook and queen, you wanna pull your queen forward or in the middle, and then you put this rook on the A column and bring it down to the D column or the E column. So sort of in the middle, like that, and then that rook can go there, sort of thing. And usually when I play chess, I usually bring this pawn up just by the king side. So basically that will help that will prevent someone trying to give you a quick checkmate. So for example, if the rooks weren't there, and let's say a queen come down like this, for example, and that wasn't there, or you can almost get quick checkmates. It's always good to have a little opening so you can just quickly get out when you need to. Yeah, so just quickly take a look at this, and this really is the ultimate opening in my opinion, because you got all your pieces in the middle of the board. So you're dominating the key squares. You've got the rooks and the queen in the middle, which is obviously supporting, and then obviously your king is nice and tucked away, so that's nice and safe. Yeah, so once you get your pieces in the middle, it's just a matter of just trying to move them up and trying to get them in a position of checkmate. etc. Right, so let me show you something else now quickly. So I'm gonna try to play myself now. So bear with me. Right, so let's just pretend we're playing a game. So right, I'll go first, and then let's say he goes first, and then obviously he goes like that, and then let's say I just move the knight out. So I'm putting pressure on his pawn, and then let's say he puts his knight out like this, like that, for example. So he's putting pressure on my pawn. Right, so that's my turn. So I go there. So obviously, once again, trying to dominate the middle and trying to basically get materials out quick. So I'm trying to basically build my pieces up into the middle. So it's very important in chess is you want to basically keep materializing and keep getting your pieces out as quick as possible, because what you don't want is your pieces tucked away and they're not getting used. So you want to get your pieces out quickly and have like openings for all of them. So let's say he puts his knight out as well. So this move here that I'm going to show you is a really, really good move, sort of at the start of the game. So bishop comes down here, and what this does, it puts the knight in pressure, and at the same time the queen's behind it. So if this knight moves, then the queen's took. So that's a really good piece. Basically, the rules of chess, well, in my opinion, is the first sort of 10 moves you should try not to take any pieces, because, like I said, you want to materialize your pieces, get them out quickly, and get your king protected. And then after all that's done, you should look to taking pieces. You should only take pieces early on if you're forced to, but try not to. Try to get pieces out in good positions. And as you can see, is where the pawns are now. They're in really good positions because it's putting pressure within the middle of the board. Okay, so let's say it's his turn. So let's say he goes. So let's just say he just brings his pawn like that, for example. Right, so now it's our turn. So I'm going to bring my knight out again, like this. And then let's just say he brings his bishop out. All right, and then I'm going to bring my bishop out as well. So you can see here that I've got most of my pieces out now of the board, and now hopefully soon I'll be ready to castle. So let's say he goes here, and then I'm going to castle. So no matter what happens now, I'm always going to be in a good position because of where my pieces are located. Because I always see a lot of amateur players when they play. Yes, so a lot of amateur players, like when they sort of play, I'll show you what they do now. So this is what you want to avoid in chess. So a lot of amateur players, they do like this. They like move that pawn first, and then maybe after that they'll like move the knight there, and then maybe after that to move this one up, and then after that they'll like try to move that bishop. But you can just see it's just such a slow process. Whereas if you just tactician in the middle, so boom, boom, so, and straight away. So once the D line and E line is out, so yeah, so this is the D rank and E rank. Already you can see, look, bishop can come out, bishop can come out. Queen can potentially come out if it needs to. Knight can come out. It's just so much quicker. So this is the sort of things that you want to be putting into your game. And then obviously once again castle. And then this pawn to go up, so you've got a gap to get out. I mean, some people do castle on the queen side as well, but personally, I usually castle on the king side, because problem is if you're on the queen side, say for example, rook can take this pawn, and then you're in trouble. If that goes there, for example, you're in trouble. Yeah, so in my opinion, I usually castle on the king side. And if you haven't heard of castling before, it's basically a move in chess which you can do if there's no pieces in between the rook and the king. Then basically how it works is the king goes 2 spaces, and then the rook goes immediately on the other side. But you can only do it if there's no pieces in between the rook and the king, and if you're not in check. But yeah, that's it really. So obviously I had that one forward. Bring this, try to, so that's there, sorry, and then try to bring these to the middle, and then just gradually you can just push up your pawns, put in pressure, and then gradually you'll be able to, put the king in check, and just, gradually just get advantage of the position. But of course, understand you're not going to be able to do this every single time where you want all your pieces, but you want to sort of work towards this position where you're basically dominating the middle, materializing your pieces quickly, protecting your king, and trying to get everything centralized, so you're putting as much pressure on the borders, on pieces as possible. Because like I said, a knight on the side of the board can only move 2 ways, but a knight in the middle of the board can move 8 ways. So it's just a better position to be in. But yeah, just if you sort of because chess is all about strategy and defense. So you shouldn't be trying to beat opponents so quickly. Just gradually just move the pieces up, get them in the right positions, and then this will hopefully improve your game. But yeah, I hope this was useful information. And yeah, if you've got any questions, comments, please post below. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. All the best, Ashley. Cheers now.